everyone, it's Mary from Rocky Mountain Gardens, and I am here today. It's about mid-August, and I have been thinking about the fall, autumn coming soon, and how I will decorate my front porch when that time comes. I usually change out my decor on my front porch about the 1st of September, and of course I love to put up a nice wreath. And I wanted to show you, I have this wreath here that I bought last year after Thanksgiving, when Hobby Lobby had all of their fall things marked down like by 66%. And I'm kind of a lazy crafter. I don't love making wreaths, especially totally from scratch. But I'll tell you, if you can get a wreath after the holidays, you can get it for 66, 70, 80% off. And it will actually cost you less for a wreath like this than to buy a brand new grapevine wreath, just a plain one that you have to buy everything to go with it to decorate it. So my tip to you all is wait until after the holidays this year and buy a wreath that you like, but maybe you would like to spruce it up a little bit. And that's what I'll be doing here today. So you might be able to see that here, let's see, in this area right here, it's a little bit more sparse with decorations. So I'm going to make a bow to put right there on this spot of my wreath. And then, let's see, I also have this little sign. It says, "Hello Fall." And so I'm going to be placing that on my wreath, probably somewhere down here. And then I wanted to lighten up the look of the wreath by adding some of these white flowers. And I also want to sort of make the wreath look a little bit more airy, not so tight in, and enlarge it a little bit. So I have some leaves that I have left over from another project. I'll be snipping them off and then adding them here to give another color of this dark green. And I'll have them coming out here to enlarge the size of the wreath and also, again, to tone it down a little bit from these brighter fall colors. So I do want to maintain traditional fall colors, but add a little bit to lighten it up. And so I will, in just a minute here, I'll turn the camera around and I'll start working on my wreath, and you can watch me and watch the progress as I put this bow together using the basis of a very inexpensive wreath that I bought after the holidays. So I'll be seeing you in just a minute. All right, so I have laid my wreath here on my work surface, and I'm going to start attaching all the parts that I want to use to enhance this wreath and make it more my own. So the first thing I'm going to do is reach over here and get this bow that I made. And it has a pipe cleaner here that has connected it and put it together. So I'm going to take this and connect it to my wreath now in this area over here. So I'll see if I can get that on and you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to take it and poke these pipe cleaners through the wreath in the back, and then I'll tie them together on the other side, pull it nice and tight. So let's see here. I have one through and the other. Is also through now. Might be a little hard for you to see this. I want to check and make sure I have it in the right spot. And I think that's good. So I'll see if I can show you here on the video, but I'm just going to take this and tighten it, twist it, and there you have it. And I thought I would show you just a little bit of the back side of this wreath. It's really interesting. It's not a regular grapevine wreath. I like the way this flares out with these little twigs. It's really nice. And so now I've added my bow. And I'll fluff up my bow here when I get it, the wreath completed. Make it look a little bit nicer with these tails and the loops of the bow. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take these little green sprigs of leaves and add them to the outside of my bow. The outside of my wreath, to give it a little bit of an airier feel, like I said earlier. And so I have pre-cut these little sprigs, and I have several of them, and this is from a flower arrangement that I had some time ago, and I just am making use of them. I save these little pieces because you can always use them in a future project. So I have my hot glue gun here, and I'm gonna put in just a couple of them to start. So let's see if I can do it over here and you can see. I'm just gonna apply, a little bit of hot glue on the end of that stem, and then just tuck it in here. And I want it to sort of extend out a little bit. Now the rest of these I think I may do when I have my wreath hanging up on my wreath stand, so you can see the process a little bit better. But let me hold on to that, because my next attachment is to add this Hello Fall little sign. And I had decided I was going to place it somewhere down in here. And I think it's going to be about here. And what I've done is I've taken 2 pipe cleaners. There's a little loop up here at the top because this little sign I got from, I think, Hobby Lobby when it was 40% off. And so it had a little loop here where you could hang it with a piece of jute. So I attached a pipe cleaner there, and on the back side I attached another pipe cleaner with hot glue. So these are ready to go to be attached. And I'm going to do sort of the same process I did with my bow. I'm going to come in here and place it where I want it to be. Like this, I think. And then we're gonna put this pipe cleaner, feed it through these twigs, and attach it on the other side, and twist the pipe cleaner together to hold it in place. So let's see, I may want to lift this up and get the pipe cleaner pieces through the twigs in a place where they will hold. And I'm going to bring them through slowly and check that the sign is in the right place for this wreath. So I like where it's sitting here on the wreath, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the pipe cleaners. And you just need to twist them a few times to get them to hold where you want it to be. All right, so I think, there we go. I'll just give you a quick look at how it seems to be right yet. I think I want it to be a little bit tilted this way for the top of the bow. So I do believe I'm gonna move the sign a little bit. I want it to be tilted a little bit more in the other direction. So I'm gonna fix that right now before I go any farther. I think that should do it. All right, so those are my two main components that I'm adding to the wreath. And I'm going to place my wreath now on my wreath stand so you can see how I add the leaves I mentioned earlier and also some more floral. So I'll pause this video and I'll be right back. All right, so here we are back, and I have some little of these green leaf sprigs that I'm going to be adding to my wreath, and I'll be placing them around the edges and maybe tucking some in even in the bow. We'll see how that works and how far that goes. So I have my hot glue gun here, and I'm just going to start adding glue to these little leaf sprigs and adding them to the wreath, and I'll see how fast that goes. You can see my wreath with the addition of green to it, and I really like this effect on the wreath. It adds a lot to it. I'm very happy with that. Now, my next component that I'm going to add are these white flowers, and I'll reach over here. I actually bought this bush from Michael's, and it was $9.99. Of course, I only paid 50%, $5 for it, because, you know, I never buy anything unless it's on sale. But with this, I have 2 flowers left on my bush, and I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 7 of these white blooms on that bush. And this is going to allow me to add some brightness to this wreath, because it seems to be so dark to me. That's one of the things I didn't like about it as much. So you can see if I just tuck these in, I think I might put one here in my bow even, down in here. Oops, that one fell, but that's okay. We'll hot glue it in later. Put one in here perhaps. One maybe over in this area. Some of my stems are a little long, so I'll just snip that off. But let's try this one in here, see how it works. I like that. Of course, we want to place them sort of evenly around the wreath. And I like the idea of putting one here by my Hello Fall sign. So I'll work that out. My one that fell, definitely we need one up in this area. And perhaps one more over here on this side and one there. So I have 2 left, and I will just snip those off. And I like to push these leaves up to the top if I can, to give more green foliage. And I like to leave them on to the look I'm doing here. So I'm going to snip those off. And then I also have a price tag here that I do need to remove. Let's see if I can, oops, I can just pull it right up. Wonderful. Okay, so I think I said perhaps one over here in this area. And one maybe in this area. And I like them to be sort of randomly spaced around. So honestly, I think this one, for example, maybe should be on the inside of the wreath. And then perhaps this one can be over here. And as you can see, I haven't hot glued them in yet. I'm doing a little testing with this to see the best arrangement. So I think this one, oopsie, I see I have one here that I can bring a little bit forward so it's more visible in the wreath. I like that a lot. I think I might bring this one over just a bit more over into this area. And then I do think I want one still down here by my sign to frame the sign. So I'm going to pause this video while I hot glue it. I'll put all these flowers in permanently with hot glue, and then I'll be back to show you. Here's the look at my finished wreath, and I really love the way it looks. Very full and actually a little bit larger than it was when I started. You'll notice that I added some pure white berries here because I felt there were some areas where the wreath looked a bit unbalanced because of the white flowers. And I debated, I had these white berry bushes and blueberry bushes. And I did debate on those 2 colors because I do like blue contrasting with orange. However, I went ahead with the white, trying to keep this wreath on the light side. So I added the white berries here, and then around on this side of the wreath, and then a small little bunch near my Hello Fall sign. And I feel as if that added quite a bit of interest and balance, as I said, for my white flowers. So just remember, a quick and easier way to create a nice wreath is to purchase your holiday wreaths after the holidays when they're marked down drastically, and then take that existing wreath and create your own special design, and choosing colors you love and so on, and just making it your own. So I hope you enjoyed this little video about wreath making, and that also you have a good time decorating your house for fall, which is coming upon us before we know it. We have to say goodbye to summer, sadly. All right, well, I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.